If you're new to Urbit and curious about self-hosting, this is the right place for you. Self-hosting can be intimidating and it might be a bit unclear exactly what's involved. In this video, you and I will see nearly the whole process from obtaining a key to getting into a group. The only significant things we skip are setting up cloud hosting in S3 buckets, but I'll link to docs for those in the description. Hi, I'm Ben Brown. I've been doing stuff with Urbit for the past 5 years. I even created a guitar course on it. One thing to understand is the end result of this video is a fresh new Urbit Moon with a copy of my guitar course, Beyond Beginner Guitar, installed. This exclusive version of the course is accessible at tortoise.homebase.com. I'll link to its pay page in the description. I tend to give a lot of context and analogies to help understanding, but I understand if you wish to jump from step to step, so I will do my best to make chapter markers for that. Even if you want things snappy, you should stick to the end because I share a rare peek into Urbit Star ownership and operation. That's something I would have killed for when I first started getting into Urbit. So let's go. Let's just get started. What's the first thing that you need? The first thing that you need is you need a key. As the one who's going to create a new computer, I need to go create that key for you. As an analogy for what we're about to do, my virtual computer, my Urbit, it's a planet. And I am going to spawn a moon. You don't need to know how to do this. You'll just need to know what to do with the key once you get it. Okay, I can talk to my planet right here. As the one spawning the moon, I get to name it. I'm going to give it the name Tortoise Sopbell. And since it's a moon underneath my computer, I will put my computer name, Nordis Machwile, as the end. This is a requirement. I have to make it this. So Tortoise Sopbell, Nordis Machwile. Enter. So you can see down here, this is the computer that I'm talking to. So now I have, right here, I have your key. This stuff, which is totally blurred out, this is absolute gobbledygook. This is a key. It is the exact same concept as having a key for your house. The key needs to have the right kind of ridges. If you don't have the right ridges, you don't get access to it. You know, like the little turn locks that you got to get just right, but like every single one of these slots you have to get like right. So it's gonna be real hard for somebody to just predict and try. Exact same concept. Boom, we got our key. Check. This gives you access to this computer. Tortoise Sopbell, Nordis Machwile. There's the key. Okay, what do we need next? Once we have the key, the next thing that we'll need is the binary. So the binary is the zeros and ones ran by either your Windows computer or your Mac computer or your Linux computer. It's the thing that's going to run the virtual computer. The virtual computer is going to be up here. There's your virtual computer, and it's going to get ran by your binary, right? So this thing right here gets ran on your computer, and then this thing kind of lives in its own little world on top of it that is generated by that binary. And that binary is made specifically for Mac, Linux, or Windows, so the different machines. Where do we get the binary? The place that this is most easily available is urbit.org. Here we are. Urbit.org, get on the network. Urbit.org, you can get it hosted for you with Talon. We're not going to do that. We're going to run it ourselves here in the docs. You can get on Urbit. Okay, we've gotten the identity. That's what the key is. We already have it. Well, I suppose we did step 1 and 2. Step 2, get your key. We've got a key. Now we're on step 3. Now we need to get the binary. So I guess I assumed that there was a Windows, but there's Mac and Linux. Mac OS comes in 2 different flavors. There's like the new fancy stuff, like the M1, M2, M3 chips, which is Apple Silicon, or there is my like decade-old computers running, which is like the Intel chips. When you pick the right computer that you're going to try to run it on, before I run it, I guess I don't want this to be intimidating. So you recognize this word URL. CURL is just like command line URL. The next thing that you see is just what you'd plug into the browser. And you can plug this into the browser. It just happens to be the file for you to download. So the latest binary for that Intel Mac. And that's all that's doing. It's going to download it and put it on your computer. And then this thing comes in a smaller compressed package, and you're just going to go ahead and decompress it, reinflate it, rehydrate it, and give it the name Urbit, even if you already had a thing called Urbit. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to make my way to the terminal. Hitting enter, downloading the binary. If I look for it, I have a thing called Urbit. I can run it. This might be a little bit weird. I can't just type Urbit. Instead, I need to do /Urbit. That might not be the case for everybody, but if you do that, it'll show you what you can do. This is too many options to worry about. Back in the docs, we can figure out the next step. Now we're here to boot the ship. I'm going to skip this step. Totally reasonable to do, but we're going to go right for the heart of it. We are going to ask the Urbit binary. Remember our picture over here? We're going to tell the Urbit binary to run an Urbit. So we're going to take our key. We're going to feed it into the binary. It will use that to know that this is the right computer, and it'll unlock that particular Urbit. Okay. So that's what this is. We are going to tell the binary, hey, I want to open up this particular name, and here's the key. I can do that, right? I now have the moon key, so I took that gobbledygook and just put it in a file. And now I'm going to ask the Urbit binary. I'm going to give you a name of the computer, Tortoise Sopbell Nordis Machwell, and I've got the key. Here's what I want. I can prove it. Here's the key. Booting home for this. It's going to download some things, and then it'll make it on your computer. That's the process of booting. All right, so self-hosting has its complications. We'll try to knock them out. The big thing is we just booted that moon right here in my local computer. But it's not going to be as useful as if I put it somewhere up in the cloud. So this is the difference between like running it on my laptop versus putting it up in a cloud. So I'm going to now do the process of not setting up the cloud, because that is a whole can of worms, but I already have a cloud set up. I'm going to do that boot process, but up in the cloud. All right. I have logged into the server that I have access to. Now backing up to step 3. This is up in the cloud, and it is, out of the Linux options, it's actually the newer Arch 64. Looks a little different. Nobody cares. All right, so here I have the Urbit binary that is appropriate for the computer that is this server. I am now going to ask it in this context, Urbit, I want this name. I have a key. Hey, there we go. We're booting up in the server. Verified the keys. You can tell that your sponsor is my planet, Nordis Machwell, who has a sponsor, who has a sponsor. And there we go. It's gonna boot, and then eventually it'll have its own little terminal to do its thing. So back over to self-hosting. So the big one of the big hurdles to get across, now it's up in a server, you're going to want to get access to it. One of the amazing things about a computer that's up in the cloud that you own is you can access it through your phone. I do that all the time. Go through the internet and you can get to it. So that means you're going to need a domain name. You're going to need your own .com, .io, .art, or whatever it is. I have already purchased a domain name. I own homebase.com. Well, I rent it. I rent homebase.com. And so I can do whatever I want with it, including giving it a subdomain and pointing that to any server that I want to. And so we're going to go through that process. This is really DNS stuff. This is not very fun, but here we go. I'm not going to show you how to get a domain name. Now I have my domain name here, homebase.com. I'm going to go to the DNS settings. So now I'm in the DNS settings of homebase.com through my domain name provider. I'm going to set up another one of these. So I'm going to basically repeat this. Add a record. And I'm going to say, if you see this, and like back to the drawing, if you see tortoise.homebase.com, I want you to go to this place. This is the address of the server the Urbit is being booted on currently. This type of record is an A type. This is all set up. Now I have a new subdomain on my domain. I'm going to save it. Custom record was saved. All right, so let's give it a shot. Okay, here's the thing. While this browser is attempting to go to the right place, go to the right server, when that request shows up, my server is like, hey, buddy, you're knocking on the right door, but what do you want? You want a pineapple? You want to like stay the night? Like, I'm not at liberty to like just like show you anything, right? So I need to tell the server, when you see this URL coming to you, you need to route it to the Urbit. We also need to like set up secure links and things and like certifications and all that. And so it's a kind of a pain in the butt, but that is what Caddy is going to do for us. Caddy is going to handle all that. I'm not going to show you how to download or set up Caddy, but there is an article, cloud hosting. This will explain it. All right. Okay, perfect timing. We have the terminal for this computer. And that means that we have this backlog. Notice all these different like addresses. So there's these like top level Urbits, and they all have IP addresses like we've been messing around with. Every time you boot up, it will tell you what web interface it is live on. So localhost is going to be the IP address of this server. Once you get to the server, like you might want to plug in more things. So we have port. So we have a different port. 8081 is the port. Okay. So here I have Caddy running, right? And the way that I talk to it is through the Caddy file. I'm going to open that sucker up. My Caddy file is already full of stuff. All you need to worry about is an entry like this. For a time, I had extra.home.art, and I was sending it to, this is synonymous with localhost. 127.0.0.1 is localhost. If you remember back in the Urbit, I can flash that on the screen. And then port 8081. So we should actually, this connection should already be set up. Hey, look at that. Tortoise sock bell. We found it. But that's not what we want it to be. All we need is the entry tortoise.homebase.com. And we'll send it to the same place, that reverse proxy. And in fact, I'm going to tell Extra over here to back off. You go to port 8082. We don't want enough of that. So now that should be set up. I am going to save that. And then I'm going to ask Caddy to reload itself. Boom, that seemed to work out. Now I'll try tortoisehomebase.com. Wop, 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 wop. There we go. We got it. So what do I have here? I'm now looking at this virtual machine. Here I am at its front door. What do I have here? This is actually not that complicated. This is username and password. It is not going to be the key that unlocked booting up this Urbit. It's actually going to be a password, a code that this Urbit Tortoise Sockbell has generated itself. And so what you need to do, you need to come in here and ask it, what's the code? And there you go. 4 6-letter words. And it matches this kind of like what it's asking for. Let's get in there. Wah, wah, wah. There it is. This is a running Urbit. This is a full, complete computer. Cool. That's done. Let's do the thing. I'm going to take my guitar course and I'm going to do all the things that I need to do to put my guitar course into this Urbit so that whoever has this can have their own personal exclusive copy of the guitar course. To find more Urbit apps in this situation, get Urbit apps as an option. I'm going to go to D-I-S-T-E-R, Dister, Migrev, Dulceg. I like the name Migrev. It makes me think of a dog cop that like comes to your school as a mascot and tells you not to do drugs or whatever. Okay, Dister, Migrev, Dulceg. He has a few apps here. I am going to download Hawk. We're going to get that app. Get that app. Just like a regular app store, only no gatekeepers. Anybody can put any app that they want and just send it out there. There is no Apple Store saying, hey, you have to give us 30% of every sale that you make. There is no, you can't send that around here. That's illegal. Maybe I shouldn't use the I word. That app is way too cool. You're not allowed to do that anymore. So Hawk is the app that I built my guitar course into, and I will do the next step to get the guitar course in it. Urbit. Give it a minute. All right. I think that's a good sign. We have Hawk. Hawk has touched down. I don't know what to say about Hawk because it is too cool. Hawk is just too cool. This is your front page of Hawk, and you can edit this page just like this button. Edit. Save. All right. Well, I'm not going to do a tutorial on Hawk. The thing that matters here is right at this spot, this like front page of your Hawk, I am going to meta. I'm going to import my guitar course. So let me jump over to my Urbit. Yeah, so we were in Hawk all along. This is my Urbit, this is my Hawk. Beyond beginner guitar here. I can come in here and I can export all the files that are in the guitar course. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to pop back over to your Hawk. I am going to create Beyond Beginner Guitar, which involves just coming in here, entering in Beyond Beginner Guitar, and hitting enter. So here, Beyond Beginner Guitar, meta, I'm going to import the thing I just downloaded. And then you get a nice little warning, like this is potentially destructive. It overwrites things. And you're like, I don't got anything to lose. Blammo. Fantastic. I had to do a little bit of magic here, but now I have, on the front page of your Hawk is the hub world of Beyond Beginner Guitar. I have this little image, the first lessons. I have this guitar. But yeah, there it is. It is good to go. But I'm not done yet. While I have it on the front page of your Hawk, I can actually make it the front page of your Urbit. So let's do that. The way that we do that is we're actually going to ask Hawk how to do it. So we're going to go to the docs, and it's here under usage, URLs. The Hawk it starts over here, but you can rebind the root. So I'm going to copy and paste this into the dojo. If you want to undo it, you can do that part. That's kind of important. But here we go. Copy and paste. And then like the beauty of Hawk, right? Beauty of Hawk. If you go to the edit side, you can go to the dojo, connect to dojo. You don't have to leave Hawk at all. Hawk is ready for you. I have that code, pasting it in, replacing existing binding at the root. Let's see what happened. So if you go to Tortoise, boom, it goes to Hawk. So Hawk has its own little login options here. You can log in as admin, and it should send you to this spot. So the way that you're gonna get access to this for whoever purchases this sucker, I will give you this code. And once you have that, you can go to the URL. Yeah, and then you get your own private little island to learn all you want out of guitar. Not to mention, you have this pretty neato computer to do all kinds of things with. Let's see. Notes. Yeah, a little note about my limited technical support. Here's another thing we'll set up. So we brushed past it, but there is an Urbit, the Primo Urbit chat app named Talon Messenger. With the course comes an invitation to our chat group. This is also a good little tutorial. I'm going to create a file. I'm going to call it TM. And this is neat because there are some templates here in Hawk, and one of them is an Urbit app. Cool. Now I can come in here and choose Talon. But here you are. This is now the Talon app. And I'm going to click on here, join a group, enter a group code. I'm not sure. Okay. Nordis Mockwell says home. Can we get in there? There it is. A collective independent musicians. Home is a hangout with musicians. And you get into the group. You may have to, for a lot of people, you have to wait until everything gets downloaded from the host. But it's working just fine. Get to the chat and say, hi, I'm new. Nordbert created me today. There you go. And you get seen as Nordis Mockwell, which is like, that's not my favorite. Let's give you a nickname. Tortoise Sopbell. All right. Well, there's things to do. But over here on Nordbird, look at me all cool, like I got your message. They're in chat. Look at you. Look at you doing your thing. I'm gonna go in here. Go into my group info. Let's go to member management. I got you right here. I'm gonna give you a role. I'm gonna make you a beta tester. Bingo. What does a beta tester get? Let's go back to Talon here. Come in here. Boom, you got this. Beyond Beginner Guitar is new. Now you're in the chat. There we go. Ready to go. But here's what's cool. I chose Tortoise Sopbell for a reason, and that is because I own the star. So there's moons, planets, stars. I own a star that has the rights to spawn Tortoise Sopbell, just like we spawned that moon earlier. To prove it, I'm going to show you bridge.urbit.org. This will become clear as I go along here. I'm going to say cool. Here we go. There's some of my assets. I own Nordis Mockwell. I can go in there and grab things. This would be where you would download your key. Once you click in here, you can get your network key, and you can download your network key to pop it in. But I also own this star, 4 Reichs. And with 4 Reichs, I can do star operations. So this will be a fun little thing to see. I can spawn planets. Here's 3 planets that are inside of the star. Here's another 3. There's a whole bunch of them. One of them that I think is really fun and cute, Tortoise Sopbell. And look at that. This is a little symbol that comes with it. It's fun. Fun stuff. So I have the authority to make Tortoise Sopbell. So if you buy this and you just fall in love with Tortoise Sopbell, that's awesome. I can get it to you if you're ready to go off on your own. Yeah, if you get really into it, you can buy one of these sweet babies and run it right next to you. It's great, beautiful. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have questions, ask them in the comments. Let me remind you that there is a link in the description for the Beyond Beginner Guitar waitlist. If you want to learn more about why you might want to be next in line to get in, watch the next video for a preview of the guitar course lessons. I'm popping off. Enjoy the next one.